At the start of the movie, we are introduced to our main lead, Setoyama. He's a second-year high school student and the most popular boy at school. Today, the class seating plan is changing as part of the new school year. Our hero has a favorite seat, which he has been eyeing since last year. But to his disappointment, it has already been taken by a classmate. So he leaves a note writing, "Who are you? This seat is mine." Following this, the rest of the students enter the classroom and take their seats. Our heroine Nozomi heads over to Setoyama's favorite desk and sits there. She soon finds the letter written by him and places it in her pocket. After this, she goes to the broadcast room to play a song as part of the school's recreational activities. There she opens the letter and learns that it has been written by Setoyama, her childhood crush. This makes her really happy, and she can't stop smiling. Later, on her way to class, she suddenly encounters him. She freezes for a while and fails to react until her best friend, Matsume, comes to her rescue. Later at home, Nozomi writes a reply letter to Setoyama. She thanks him for the gesture, but points out that she doesn't know him very well. The following day, she sees a girl asking Setoyama out on a date, but he turns her down, saying he already has someone he likes. Later, Nozomi receives another letter from him in which he expresses his desire to know more about this secret correspondent. Therefore, he suggests they go out on a date. Having read the letter, our girl excitedly goes to the broadcast room. Just as she leaves, Setoyama arrives at the class and sees Matsumi standing in front of his favorite desk, where he leaves his secret letters. Naturally, he assumes that she's the girl with whom he's been corresponding with. As the days pass, Nozomi and Setoyama start talking through letters and begin to bond. One day, our handsome hero suggests communicating through a secret diary, which they will keep in a common closet at the school. Nozomi giddily agrees, but when she opens the diary, she sees Matsumi's name on it. She is absolutely confused as to why he would address her by this name. Then it dawns on her that there's been a misunderstanding, and he has mistaken her for Matsumi. That night when she returns home, she writes in the diary that he has mistaken her for Matsumi. The following day when she goes to place the diary in the common closet, she sees Setoyama there. This makes her so nervous that she falls to the ground. Our hero casually helps her up and asks whether she's aware of him talking with her best friend. Nozomi nervously replies that she knows about their secret friendship and assures him that Matsumi will reply soon. After this harrowing encounter, our heroine decides not to reveal her identity just yet. As days pass by, the pair talk about their favorite bands, likes and dislikes, which causes Nozomi to fall for him even harder. One day, she attends a party with her friend where Setoyama is also present. Upon hearing this, she gets really nervous, so she goes outside to freshen up. However, our handsome hero follows her. Once they arrive at the rooftop, he reveals that all the people inside are making fun of the song she plays during the broadcasting. He advises her to stand up for herself and be strong. Just then, Nozomi's friends arrive, and the girls decide to leave the party. Coincidentally, our hero says he's also leaving. On the walk home, he comments on Nozomi's slow walking pace, to which she playfully replies that it's because of her short legs. Setoyama then expresses concerns about her shyness and encourages her to open up so that people can understand her. To which our heroine says that she prefers to observe and understand a person first. As their conversation delves deeper, he playfully pinches her cheeks, mentioning that he does the same thing to his younger sister. He then shares the challenges of being raised by his grandmother after his parents' early passing. Now that his grandmother is ill, he's worried that he can't handle everything alone. However, she reassures him, saying that he can indeed manage it all. Our hero is moved by her supportive words, and he gazes at her with appreciation. That night, when Nozomi gets home, she starts pinching her cheeks the way he had earlier. Several days later, Nozomi and her classmates decide to visit an amusement park. Our heroine is the first to show up, followed by Setoyama. He compliments her outfit, saying she looks quite different in casual clothes. Nozomi smiles at his compliment, but quickly becomes upset when she notices him staring at Matsumi. Soon after, everybody turns up at the park, and they have a blast together. Later, when Nozomi is alone, Setoyama brings her a drink. They then engage in playful conversation, and our hero even wins her a toy from one of the arcade games. However, the moment he spots Natsumi, he goes to see her. Nozomi is expectedly hurt by this, but she doesn't know how to react. When she returns home that night, she starts sobbing and writing a letter to her crush. She mentions that she started to like him a lot, but our heroine soon pulls herself together and writes, "Today was fun in the amusement park." The next day, Setoyama notices her struggling with basketball practice. Although Nozomi struggles in PE class, she excels in the English test, once again catching our hero's attention. Impressed by her proficiency in English, he approaches her and asks her to study together. He explains that despite practicing for a long time and attending English classes, his proficiency is not where he wants it to be. He then humbly asks her if she can help him. Nozomi gladly agrees, so he gives her his contact information. Later that day, she messages him saying she's available for an English class. Setoyama, who is eager to improve his language skills, visits her immediately. The two then head over to his place, where his younger sister mistakes Nozomi for his girlfriend. His ill grandmother also takes notice of our beautiful heroine. Subsequently, they settle down for a study session and to have a fun time together. Once they're done studying, Setoyama decides to help Nozomi practice her basketball skills. She lacks confidence and struggles to handle the ball. He calmly guides her through the process, offering motivation and sharing his own basketball journey. He encourages Nozomi to believe in herself, emphasizing that she's capable of succeeding in whatever she sets her mind to. In the meantime, Nozomi's ex-boyfriend, Hiroto, still misses her and wants them to reconcile. One day, he approaches her and asks about her relationship with Setoyama. Although intrigued by the question, she politely says they're just friends. At the same time, Setoyama is anxiously searching for Nozomi because he has aced the recent English test. When he spots her talking to her ex, he hides nearby to overhear their conversation. Unfortunately, when Hiroto asks our heroine if they can get back together, Setoyama gets upset, prompting him to quietly walk away. Later that night, he texts Nozomi, thanking her for helping him get good marks in English. Our girl replies by saying that she has something to share. She then asks if he's free to meet tomorrow, to which he enthusiastically says, yes, of course. The next day, however, Nozomi gets in a minor argument with Matsumi due to a misunderstanding. This ruins her mood, so she goes to the school's terrace with Setoyama. She confides in him about the incident, saying it's not her fault. Our hero understands the predicament and advises her to express her thoughts openly. He emphasizes the importance of clarifying misunderstandings before they become a huge issue. He even suggests that she shout to make her voice heard. Nozomi finds this idea silly, but she decides to give it a try anyway. The two then begin shouting at the top of their lungs, leaving them both uplifted. Later in class, Setoyama curiously asks Nozomi about her ex-boyfriend's intentions. He questions if he still likes her and wants to rekindle their relationship. Our heroine reveals that their affair began with a similar confession, but due to her unclear stance, he ended it. Now he wants to reconcile, but she's not interested. Setoyama then asks if she would give a chance to someone else. Nozomi asks who that someone else might be. He playfully suggests that she consider him, to which she replies that she will think about it. Just then, he leans towards her and kisses her. This leaves our heroine stunned, and she doesn't know how to respond. Setoyama then grabs her hand, trying to evoke some emotion inside her. However, when he realizes she's feeling uncomfortable, he apologizes and leaves. Later, Nozomi finds herself pondering over recent events. She can't believe that her lifelong crush has actually kissed her. Later that evening, she and her best friend Matsumi reconcile after putting aside their differences. The following day, Nozomi writes a heartfelt letter to Setoyama and places it on his desk. She then goes to the broadcast studio and plays his favorite song. Meanwhile, when her hero goes through the letter, he rushes to the studio. In the letter, Nozomi finally reveals the truth, that she is the girl he's been chatting with. She also expresses her feelings for him, saying that she has liked him for a long time. Taken aback, Setoyama asks if she's joking, but she insists it's true and apologizes. This overwhelms our hero with emotions, and he apologizes for not recognizing her earlier. He also admits that he shouldn't have kept his feelings hidden. As the two continue talking, Nozomi accidentally turns on the studio microphone. This broadcasts their emotional conversation through the entire class. Setoyama, who is unaware of this, confesses his feelings for Nozomi, making everyone happy. When he finally realizes that the microphone is on, he laughs and switches it off. He then begins to pour his heart out, expressing that he used to make reasons to stay in class just to see her. His eyes were always on her, and that's why he has poor grades. Moreover, the day he kissed her, he couldn't control himself. He thought that the person he talked to and liked so much was right in front of him, yet they acted like strangers. So it was time for him to finally confess his feelings for her. In response, Nozomi yells loudly that she likes him too. The emotional two hug and share a kiss, bringing a happy ending to the story.